Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Gordon MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio. We are awaiting the arrival of Michael Bullock. Oh, there is Michael Bullock. And guys, we're going to just do our. So, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to recap SmackDown Live. We're going to preview the King and Queen of the Ring that will be going down tomorrow. And then obviously tomorrow we're gonna have a second part, a second edition, and that is where we'll have our recap of the show. We'll preview the we will preview the all the double or nothing, and then we will have the range around. And if for some reason the game should end early, then we'll do the range roundup tonight. If it's not, then we'll definitely save it for tomorrow, along with the Celtic chat. So we'll wait and see how the Rangers do. Right now, they're in overtime with the Florida Panthers. It is 1-1 in a pivotal game, too, for the New York Rangers. We are in overtime as we speak from Madison Square Garden. If there's a result in this, in this next hour, then we will recap it. If we don't, then fine. We'll save for it tomorrow night, but we'll wait and see. All right. But right now, what we're going to do is, like we said, we're going to start out with SmackDown Live from Saudi Arabia, and then we will go into previewing the King and Queen of the Ring. So with that said, we start off with SmackDown Live that was taped earlier today. Fortunately, I know this is one of the times where we got to kind of avoid the spoilers, as they say, from the Jeddah Superdome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And we started out with the Queen of the Ring SmackDown final. It was Bianca Belair going one-on-one with Nia Jax, the winner of the bout, in 11 minutes, 37 seconds. The SmackDown representative that will face Monday Night Raw's Lara Valkyria in the final tomorrow, Nia Jax. She stuns the WWE Universe and wins the bout. Look, you can call it an upset. You can definitely call it an upset, because with the body of work, with how great Bianca Belair is, the irresistible force was exactly that. She was able to maneuver her way in. This was an excellent semifinal match and a big outcome and win for Nia. Now she gets an opportunity at Lara Valkyria. Actually, that would make the Valkyrie a major underdog going into the final, but with the stakes even more higher now. I don't know if you guys have talked about this or even alluded to it, but we should definitely talk about it because Triple H made a big announcement yesterday, saying that the winner of the Queen of the Ring and the King of the Ring would receive a championship match at SummerSlam for their respective titles. So if Nia wins it all, she gets to face off with Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. If Lara Valkyria wins, she faces off with the winner of Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, or whoever the Women's World Champion may be at SummerSlam when we get to Cleveland, Ohio, at Paul Brown Stadium. So this is a massive outcome. This was a 3-star bout for me, and this was you can say a major upset because I don't think a lot of people really, if you really thought at the very beginning when the SmackDown bracket came out, did anybody have Nia Jax in their bracket to make it to the final? Most likely not. But she's done it. She's in the finals. And Anthony Florio, she goes up against your girl, Lara Valkyria, in the final. This is going to be a heck of a final to say the very least.
Yeah, the classic big girl, small girl. We don't get that too often on the women's side. We usually get that on the men's side. But this was the classic irresistible force versus immovable object pairing. Nia Jax is one of the most physically imposing women in WWE history, and Bianca Belair is one of the strongest. So they are two of the only people who can offer a believable challenge for each other. This was not a fast-paced affair, but they took the time to sell everything and spaced out the big moments well. Belair kept trying to go for the KOD, but her injured knee would not allow for it. Nia Jax was able to take advantage of the injury and hit Annihilator for the clean win. The bodysuits WWE has made for the women to wear during these Saudi shows have looked really nice for the last few years. As MF alluded to, Lyra Valkyria was shown watching from the front row. Nia Jax using a hair accessory as a crown to taunt Belair was kind of funny, and Belair's powerbomb to Jax was one of the most impressive things she has done in a ring. I'll give this somewhere in excess of 3 to 3.25 stars. Solid jump off, and now we have our Queen of the Ring final. It will now be Nia Jax from representing SmackDown, squaring off against Lyra Valkyria representing Monday Night Raw, and we'll find out who will walk away as the 2024 Queen of the Ring tomorrow afternoon. And the winner of that will get a future shot at their respect. Now, here's the thing. I talked about this with Bullock during our SmackDown chat, MF. I'm very curious. Whoever wins, does that individual necessarily go after their brand's champion? Or is there a chance to jump?
Yes. Triple H made it abundantly clear it's against their brand's champion.
Brand exclusive. Okay.
Brand exclusive, yes. So this is not. So there is.
So Lyra will get a shot at the Women's World Championship against Becky or Liv at SummerSlam. If Nia wins,
but the thing is, I mean, who knows who the Women's World Champion or the Women's Champion will be by the time we get to SummerSlam.
That's true. However,
that makes a great point.
That is true. However, it is abundantly clear whoever was the champion representing Monday Night Raw as the Women's World Champion, if Lara has to face off with that person, she must face off with that person. That's why we said it's very prevalent, because we do have a Women's World title fight tomorrow night between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, that whoever wins that one would have to face Lara. But remember, there's also a Money in the Bank event coming up as well. So that's why there's a lot riding on that, on not only the title match, but the outcome of the Queen of the Ring. Because if Nia wins it, possibly she faces Bayley. Maybe she might face somebody else. If Lara wins, you got Liv, you got Becky. There, who knows who it could be. Maybe Rhea comes back and gets the belt again. We don't know. So there's a lot of possibilities who could be walking out as champion. But one thing's for sure, whoever wins the Queen of the Ring is guaranteed a title shot. Either if Nia wins, she gets to wait to see who the champion is on SmackDown heading into SummerSlam. If it's Lara, then she's got to wait to see who the women's champion is on Monday Night Raw the night, so that she gets her opportunity at the title.
Absolutely. So I'm glad I brought that up. I was very curious myself. So, but I'm glad you cleared that up. So that definitely puts things into perspective, and it gives us a lot to think about when we do our preview in a little bit. But yeah, 3 to 3.25 stars, and not much more to say. Michael Bullock, regardless of who won this match, Lyra was going to be in for the fight of her life, but she's literally going to be in the fight of her life, because she's got to go up against Nia Jax, and she is going to be a massive, massive underdog in this one.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. She's going to be a massive, massive underdog. No matter who comes out of this. But yeah, now that it's Nia Jax, she's going to be in for the fight of her life. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, 3 stars for me. A good match here. And yeah, the finals are set. So, and like you said, I mean, with that announcement, so whoever comes out, I mean, if Nia Jax wins, she gets the challenge for the women's championship. But if Lyra wins, she challenges for the women's world title. So, a lot at stake, not just with the Queen of the Ring, but which women's championship will be up for grabs come SummerSlam. So,
Yes.
so there's really nothing more for me to say. So let's move on, Fletch.
Next up, we had was a six-man tag team fight, as it was LA Knight and the Street Profits. They went up against Carmelo Hayes and the WWE Tag Team Champions, the A-Town Down Under, and it was the Face Squad winning the match. They won the bout in 8 minutes and 52 seconds. LA Knight and the Profits wins it. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
Yes, 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. Little backstory here. The WWE Tag Team Champions, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, hosted an episode of the Grayson Waller Effect. They were trying to bring out someone else, but Carmelo Hayes showed up. Waller ended up agreeing that Hayes would be a better guest than LA Knight, so they welcomed him to the ring. And Hayes tried to pitch an alliance before Knight made his way out. Street Profits eventually saved him from a 3-on-1 attack. Impromptu 6-man tag match got started after we returned from the commercial break. It was Carmelo Hayes and Montez Ford. They started things off with a nice exchange, but quickly tagged out to LA Knight and Austin Theory, respectively. Pretty standard stuff, but everything was executed well. The heels played their part, and the baby faces were getting consistent pops from the Saudi crowd. Montez scored the win with the From the Heavens frog splash. You got to watch the hang time on that, literally. And Montez Ford's jumping kick to Carmelo Hayes looked awesome. That was the only real after-match observation I had. 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star for this. So there isn't much more to say. Michael Bullock, LA Knight, and the Street Profits get the win. And well, what's next? I mean, let's not forget DIY has a future tag team title opportunity with Theory and Waller down the line. I don't think they've had it yet, but now we might have to consider the Street Profits to be added to that as well.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that because, like you said, DIY has earned a future shot at the chip, so we'll see how it goes there. So 2.5, 2 3/4. I'm with you on this one. So there's really nothing more for me to say. So it is yours, Fletch.
Yeah, 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star, no doubt about it. Solid matchup. It was really good how this played out. So it was a fine action, to say the very least. Nothing more to say. So here we go, and the next thing we had was a promo segment. That's fine. It had Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. Final little talk before their match. It was fine for what it was worth. The next in-ring match was Chelsea Green versus Bayley. Bayley winning the match in 4 minutes and 55 seconds, but Piper Niven, lays out the champ after the match was over. And yeah, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
One and a half. I mean, it was fine, but it was definitely too short for my liking here. But yeah, Bayley, she may have won the match, but she really got laid out by Piper Niven with not one, not two, but three of those. I don't know what you call those. What she does. So, she basically just squashed her 3 times. That's all I'll say. So yeah, I don't know. Could we be looking at the maybe next challenger for the women's championship in Piper Niven?
Possible.
It's possible, but we'll have to wait and see. And to channel a little, and I'm sorry to do this, Florio, and to channel a little Jesse Ventura. Bayley may have won the battle, but she may have lost the war. So, nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, it's about 1.5 stars. It was really more of a filler thing than anything else. It was good to get Chelsea Green on TV. I know a lot of people love her, but the outcome was the right outcome. The right winner was Bailey. That keeps the momentum going for her. But boy, did she pay the price. Maybe the next opponent for Money in the Bank is Piper Niven. Piper might have just punched her ticket to maybe getting a title shot at Money in the Bank before SummerSlam. And actually, as a matter of fact, isn't there an event before SummerSlam?
Aren't you? Where is Piper Niven? Where is Piper Niven? Where does Piper Niven call home, MF?
Clash at the Castle.
Scotland.
Yeah. So it's Clash at the Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, do you give her Bailey the shot at Money in the Bank, or do you hold? Or would it be better to hold it off and give her the shot in Clash at the Castle? But I don't know. We'll see. So it's a 1.5. Florio, it's yours.
I'll give it 2 for the effort. Bailey found herself the victim of the numbers game and was left lying in the ring by the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. The match itself was relatively simple, but the post-match attack instantly made Piper Niven look like a potential contender for the WWE Women's Championship. And nothing else to really speak of, but, what happened in the post-match, it kind of reminded me a little bit of WrestleMania 6 after Hacksaw Jim Duggan beat Dino Bravo. And when the Earthquake went to town on Hacksaw. So it was almost like that, almost a carbon copy of that, even though Bailey did not cheat to win. Bailey won clean, but, it is what it is. But I'll give it a solid 2 stars for the effort. By default, it was the worst fight of the night. So kind of had a feel of a ho-hum diva fight, if I'm being honest. So not much more to say on that. So I believe we move on to the main event, the King of the Ring finals for SmackDown.
Yes, King of the Ring final, Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga, and it was the Viper. Randy Orton advancing to the finals. He gets to face off with the Ring General, Gunther, tomorrow. 13 minutes, 58 seconds was the time of the fall. Good main event. Solid main event. Great match. A 3.5 to about 4, near 4. But the right man won. Look, Randy Orton definitely deserved to win this one. Definitely deserves the opportunity to be fighting for the King of the Ring. Now, the question is, does he get past Gunther? Does he take down the Ring General and win the King of the Ring? Now, remember, with that opportunity, this opens the door that if Randy Orton wins, he might be facing off with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, for the WWE title at SummerSlam. That's a main event level match. And I know the fans is definitely clamoring for a match like that. That would be a hell of a main event to get. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. But the right man won. So for me, this is going to be a hell of a main event. We'll wait and see how this plays out. But nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, 3.5 to 4. And like I said, an amazing fight to say the very least.
Oh, yeah. Fight of the night, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Tama Tonga may be a badass, but Randy Orton had a pretty big height and weight advantage, so he was able to get the upper hand and keep it until Tonga clipped his knee at ringside. The match slowed down significantly when Tonga kept the Viper in a sleeper hold for a long time. Once he broke the hold, Orton began running through his signature moves. Orton picked up the win with an RKO as a mildly impressed Gunther looked on from the crowd. Tonga Loa was unable to travel to Saudi Arabia for legal reasons. And Tonga's entrance looked awesome this week. They had more fire than usual, which looked great on the huge stage. And, outcome never in doubt. We all knew Orton was going to win. And now, gentlemen, we have ourselves a literal be a man fight here. Gunther, Randy Orton. Wow. Ho ho. Man, that is going to be tough to call. I mean, that literally can go either way. And we don't have much time to think about it because we got to get into that in a little bit. So we got to think about this one for a bit. But nonetheless, great main event, fight of the night, 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4 for it. So.
It's over! Rangers win! Barclay Goodrow, the game winner!
Oh!
We are tied at 1 in this series.
Let's go!
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, don't apologize.
I'm so sorry to interrupt on that one, but I couldn't hold it. But Barclay Goodrow has won it for New York. I know Florida's looking at something. I think they're going to try to review it or to try to challenge it for a possible offside, but it did not look like an offside. It looks like it is
where
game
was it?
over.
Where was the offside? I didn't see it.
Well, I'm trying to see if they're gonna, because I saw the referees look. Oh, wait.
Oh no.
I think they're challenging. Hold on. Oh, they're calling if he played it with a high stick.
So the game continues then.
Hold on.
Nope.
We're still waiting. Actually, no. They confirmed it. It's a goal. Game over.
Whew.
They confirmed it.
Yes.
They said no. They said there was no high stick played. Offside. There was nothing there. Rangers win 2-1.
All right. So that means we'll have our Ranger roundup.
We will indeed.
Good. Very good.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. Anthony, back to you.
Don't apologize, MF. I mean, I would have done the exact same thing. You know I would have. But oh my God. I mean, oh boy. Okay. I still forgive me while my stomach and my chest reinflate. I mean, oh my word. But nonetheless, 3.5, 3 3/4 of a star. Outcome never in doubt. We all knew Orton was going to win. Now we have ourselves a dream match, another first time ever matchup. But this first time matchup I'm a little more excited for. Randy Orton, future Hall of Famer, squaring off against the greatest Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all time in Gunther. You know this is going to be a man fight. This is going to be an MF special, if I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to be physical, smash mouth, in your face, exactly like MF likes it. And I don't know what else there is to say after that.
It's worthy of the King of the Ring crown.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what this match is. This is worthy of being a final for the King of the Ring.
Yes, indeed. Hell, it's a main event on any pay-per-view. I mean, this is a SummerSlam worthy main event. Hell, you could consider this a WrestleMania worthy match. I mean, when you think about the body of work of both of these men, I'll dive a little bit more into it. I'll go a little more professor mode when we get to the preview. But nonetheless, like I said, 3.5, 3 3/4 fight of the night. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Randy Orton defeating Tama Tonga. We get him and Gunther in the finals. And wow, how do you follow these last few minutes? Talking about that, and of course that epic win by the Rangers. Wow,
I don't even know how you follow that, but man, 3.5, 3 3/4 fight of the night. I mean, yeah, now Randy Orton has a date with Gunther for the King of the Ring tomorrow afternoon, and yeah, I mean, this is going to be something really good. I cannot wait to see this. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. Now let's get into the overall thoughts on this edition of Smackdown from Saudi Arabia.
And it leads off by Anthony Florio. Florio, I hope you had a minute to relax, because here we go.
Yep, I'm good. All right, everything's good here. All right, I will give this in excess of 6.5 to 7 out of 10. tonight's SmackDown only featured 4 matches, so a lot of what we saw was non-wrestling segments designed to hype the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view tomorrow. All 4 of the matches we got were enjoyable, but it's hard to look at a show like this and not feel like WWE skimped a bit, which is not uncommon with go-home shows. Some people had the same complaint about Dynamite on this past Wednesday night. While all 4 matches were decent, none of them really stood out as noteworthy in any particular way. The 6-man tag was the most exciting bout, but both Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring matches were enjoyable for different reasons. All in all, this was an average show, but it went by surprisingly quick for an episode with a lot of talking segments and video packages. In excess of 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Michael Bullock, we saw it on our SmackDown chat tonight. Normally we don't do tape shows, but this one we kind of felt, was a big deal because it was the King and Queen of the Ring go home after all. So not much more. Bullock, I say 6.5 to 7 out of 10. What says you?
Yeah, I say 6.5 to 7 out of 10 as well. I mean, I thought it was a good show. I mean, especially for it being a tape show. I mean, yeah, it did feel like it went by quick, especially with all the talking segments and some of the matches that did go down. So, yeah, nothing more to say. Fletch, let's get to you and then preview King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Absolutely an incredible, incredible way to close it. There was really nothing more to really add here, guys. So we're just gonna go right on in. Here we go. The King and Queen of the Ring that will be held tomorrow afternoon. Once again from the Jeddah Superdome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. This time it will be on Peacock in the United States. And Michael Bullock, where else?
Come on, Bullock. You know
the
spot we do.
And the WWE Network elsewhere around the world. And, of course,
traditional pay-per-view.
Yep.
No, boys. That's what I was hoping for. So here we go, guys. So we actually just got announced that there will be a pre-show match for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. This just got announced. It will be Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill putting their titles on the line against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. That got added because of what happened earlier tonight after Bianca got knocked out of the Queen of the Ring. Indy Hartwell and Bianca Belair Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae started poking fun at them. Sorry. A little hairball in my throat. Apologize for that. And then we go right on in, and they challenge them for a fight. Nick Aldis is like, you know what? Let's do it. We'll do Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill tomorrow. Women's tag team titles on the line. Done deal. So there you go. All right, here we go. First fight of the night. Let's go with this one. Becky Lynch, because all these next fights had major implications. First one, we got 2 King of the Ring the King and Queen of the Ring matches, the finals, and 3 championship fights. So we're going to try to order this in the way that we think is the most relevant to the highest level. So we're going to start out with the Women's World Title. Becky Lynch to go one-on-one with Liv Morgan for the gold. All right, so the way I feel about this match, it goes a number of different ways. It's all about Liv right now. Liv is on this revenge tour, trying to one-up Rhea Ripley, doing everything that she wants to do to get the belt. Becky is now the big player in the whole factor. She is the reigning champion. She has gotten the title. She's looking really good. We got to wait and see how this plays out. But the question now remains, how do you counter this? What's the look? What's the feel? What's the makeup? At the end of the day, this can go a number of different ways. Obviously, if Becky wins, she continues her road on. The revenge tour continues. If Liv wins, she becomes the champion. Now, you know she's been hanging around with Dominic Mysterio. She just showed up with Finn Balor heading off on Monday Night Raw this past Monday. And there's been a lot of questions on her possibly infiltrating into the Judgment Day. So, what's that like? What's that feeling? What is going on there? There's a lot to decipher here. There's a lot of stuff going down. Now, obviously the women's queen of the ring is going to have a major impact on that. But because of what I'm feeling, that might be where we're going down the road here. There's a number of different ways this can go. I want to set now. This is a head versus heart thing. My heart is saying Becky retains. My head is saying Liv becomes the champion. So I'm kind of fluctuating. I don't know how this plays out, and yet I got this feeling that Liv is going to win it all. I don't know why. I just got a feeling like Liv is going to get her moment. She will win the World Women's title and finally realize her dream. And then obviously we're gonna have to wait to see when she comes back in the whole 9 yards. But at the end of the day, congratulations to Liv. Congratulations. Like I said, it could go a number of different ways, but I think Liv is gonna win it. So Anthony, like I said, it's a head versus heart. You know how much I love Becky Lynch, but something tells me Liv is gonna win this title. I don't know why. I just do.
So you're calling for new champ?
I'm calling for a new champ, but I'm not very, very sure. I'm not like
I don't blame you.
I can't put my finger on it or say that I give it the full stamp of approval. I'm just saying right now I think Liv is gonna win the title, but I'm not 100% about it.
I'm a little bit more than you, MF. But there are two arguments to be made here. First things first. Every time Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan have had a championship match, Becky Lynch has successfully defended the title. Go back to that Monday Night Raw, December 6th of 2021 in Memphis, when Becky Lynch defended the then Raw Women's Championship against Liv Morgan in the main event of that show, no less. And it was Becky Lynch who successfully defended. Fast forward about a month later to that day one pay-per-view in 2022, New Year's night in Atlanta. Becky Lynch successfully defended. Becky has the advantage going into this because she's never lost to Liv Morgan. On the other side of the coin, Liv Morgan has never beaten Becky Lynch in a championship bout. So perhaps, is this her time? Is this the time for Liv Morgan to break through? Very, very tough to call. But I have to go with the numbers right now. I believe Liv Morgan's revenge tour gimmick will eventually result in her winning the women's title before Rhea Ripley comes back from her injury. But I also believe they'll stretch this program out with Becky a while longer before finally doing the title swap. Plus, WWE does tend to avoid having titles change hands during Saudi shows. Even though it has happened, it doesn't happen that often. So for right now, MF, I got to respectfully disagree with you, and I got to say the winner and still the women's world champion, the man, Becky Lynch. So, Michael Bullock, it's the classic case of who do you agree with? Do you agree with me and Becky retaining, or do you agree with MF and that Liv Morgan steals the title?
Whew. Man, this is tough. I mean, this could basically go either way. I mean, but let's not forget another thing too. Remember what we talked about this past week?
That being?
We talked about where the placement of this match goes.
Oh, the placement. Yes, the match order. Yes.
Because if the match goes right before the Queen of the Ring final, I would say Becky Lynch wins because if you want this program to continue, you need to have Liv Morgan go out there and cost Lyra Valkyria the Queen of the Ring, because Becky and Lyra are best friends, and Liv is, and we've seen the interactions backstage with Liv Morgan and Lyra Valkyria, so we got to keep an eye on this, especially where the placement of it is. So this is tough. Part of me wants to go with Liv Morgan to become the new champion, but I think the thing is, if you want to prolong the story, I think you got to have Becky go over. So I'm gonna say it like this: I'm going to reluctantly go with Becky Lynch to retain the Women's World Championship. But I would not at all be surprised if Liv Morgan does become the new champion. But I think because of, like I said, I think the placement of it, and they want to probably prolong the story, I think I got to reluctantly go with Becky to retain. So there's really nothing more for me to say. It's your Sledge.
Triple threat for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship is the next match on the fight card, and it is Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
Man, here's another tough one to call here. Chad Gable's new heel run has become a weekly highlight on Raw, but I don't expect him to finally win the IC title until he officially drops the Alpha Academy in favor of the Creed brothers. Bronson Reed is here to take the pin, so the Sami Zayn and Chad Gable program can continue. Gable is going to eventually link up with the Creeds, because we saw them. We saw a backstage segment between them this past Monday night on Raw. He links up with the Creeds. That's going to be a magical pairing. And what will likely drive that union is Otis, feeling the shame of his actions and attacking Sami Zayn this past Monday on Raw, finally turning his back on Chad Gable. That moment maybe could come tomorrow. Who knows? Leading to Sami retaining the title in the situation between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable advancing to the next stage. So I'm going to take a chance here, and I'm going to say the winner and still Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, it is Sami Zayn. Bronson Reed will take the fall, and I believe that Sami Zayn and Chad Gable will have another showdown down the line. And when they do, then I believe Chad Gable will finally get his moment and finally become the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion with his new Alpha Academy brethren, the Creed brothers. Imagine what that union would look like. Yikes. So not much more. Sami Zayn wins. He's still the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And he's going to pin Bronson Reed to do it. So, Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn to retain the Intercontinental Championship, and like you said, I think he's gonna pin Bronson Reed, so that way you continue the storyline between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable, because eventually Otis is gonna turn on Chad Gable, and that's when we'll get the. Because I think this is gonna continue the storyline, and I think that's when we're gonna get the Creed brothers to officially join the Alpha Academy, and then when Sami Zayn and Chad Gable have another showdown, I think this is where Chad Gable will finally get his moment. But for right now, Sami Zayn is still the Intercontinental Champion. It's your Sledge.
Sami Zayn wins the match. I totally agree with everything you guys have said. I do believe Otis will turn on Chad Gable. That's going to get the monster pop, but that's also going to lead to the Creed brothers to join Alpha Academy at some point. So we'll see how that plays out. Next up, all right, we'll do it. The Queen of the Ring Finals. It is representing Monday Night Raw, the Valkyrie, Lyra Valkyria, going one-on-one against SmackDown's irresistible force, Nia Jax. Michael Bullock, who are we going to say all hail the queen to?
And again, like I said, this goes back to what I originally said. If this match comes right after the Women's World Championship match, and man, I mean, as much as I really want to see Lyra Valkyria win it, I mean, because WWE is so high on her right now. I mean, but this is another tough one for me. But I think because of the whole situation with Liv Morgan, I gotta go with and we'll all be saying all hail Queen Nia Jax, because if this match is like right after the Women's World Title match and Becky retains, I think this is where Liv Morgan is gonna cost Lyra Valkyria the match to basically extend the whole storyline where, Liv is going to get Becky's attention again by costing her friend the Queen of the Ring. So because of that, it'll be all hail Queen Nia Jax. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get all hail Queen Lyra Valkyria. But again, I'll say it reluctantly, it'll be Queen Nia Jax. It's yours, Fletch.
This is interesting because if Nia wins it, she gets a golden opportunity. She'll get to challenge for the WWE Women's Title at SummerSlam. But something tells me that's not going to be the outcome. I truly believe that Lyra Valkyria is going to come back, overcome the odds, and I do have Lyra winning it all. I do believe that the Valkyrie will become the Queen of the Ring, because I do believe that they could do an angle where, she could have a respectable fight. And you remember the match that the man also might want to have a little bit of revenge on her mind, because remember, in NXT, Lyra Valkyria was the one that dethroned her to become the NXT Women's Champion. So maybe there might be a respectable match between the two where you have like this big respect between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria for the title. Obviously, Liv Morgan will definitely factor in at some point, but I kind of feel like it kind of depends on the situation. But I do believe when it's all said and done, I actually got the Valkyrie pulling the upset, winning the Queen of the Ring. So yeah, I think we're gonna be and I know Anthony Florio will gladly bend the knee and show proper respect to the new queen of WWE, like I got to do when Zelina Vega was crowned Queen of the Ring or Queen's Crown tournament winner just a few years ago. I think Anthony Florio will gladly bend the knee and bow to Lyra Valkyria. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Lyra Valkyria winning the match and becoming the Queen of the Ring. So, Anthony, it is yours.
Well, you have to think about what the most entertaining option would be when it comes to a SummerSlam worthy match. Does Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship sound like a SummerSlam worthy match?
Not really, no.
No, even though I did pick it, but like I said, I only said it reluctantly.
Right. And how about Lyra Valkyria versus either Becky Lynch or Liv Morgan for the Raw women for the WWE for the Women's World Championship?
That's more entertaining.
Especially Lyra and Becky, right?
Yes.
So now I'm in the tough position. Now I have to play tiebreaker. Do I go with Bullock and Nia Jax, or do I go with MF and Lyra Valkyria? You guys know where my heart lies. Of course.
Oh, I know. That's why I knew where you were going. I know where you're going.
Fletch and I know where Florio lies here.
And here's the reason why. WWE seems intent on strapping the rocket to Lyra Valkyria fresh out the gate. But her character needs a bit more than is friends with Becky Lynch. Getting handed the royalty gimmick doesn't always work for wrestlers. With all due respect, MF, it didn't really do anything for Selena Vega when she won it, but maybe Lyra Valkyria can run with it. So I'm going to go with MF on this one, and I'm going to say Lyra Valkyria wins the Queen of the Ring, but I would not at all be surprised if Nia Jax were to win. I would not.
But if you, in Devil's Advocate, Anthony, the only reason why Zelina Vega never really got a fair run at Queen of the Ring when she won it was because look who was running creative back then.
Yep.
Do I need to go there?
You don't really need to go there.
But
no need to go there.
But you know.
Exactly.
So that's why I felt like it was underutilized. At that time. So nothing more to say.
Yeah.
All right.
Lyra wins. So, but if Nia wins, I would not at all be surprised either.
All right, here we go. The men's, the king of the ring, the Viper, Randy Orton versus the Ring General, Gunther. All right, now, again, I'm going to use Anthony Florio's logic here. What would be the better match to see? Gunther versus the World Heavyweight Champion? Right now it's Damian Priest. Could be Drew McIntyre. We don't know. But there is no title right now going there. Or do you go with a dream fight? Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I know. I hear you guys yelling it in the ear. Rhodes versus Orton. It is very possible. It's not only possible, but I believe it. The only reason why I would have said Randy Orton is if Triple H did not add that extra decree that the winner of the bout gets the title shot at SummerSlam. The minute Triple H uttered those words, I looked at the bracket and I'm like, oh my God, we're about to get Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Going into the tournament, I think we all were thinking Gunther. Obviously, no doubt. Gunther was the odds-on favorite. Gunther was the one that everybody was going to go after. Gunther was going to win the King of the Ring. Except until Triple H uttered the words, the winner of the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring gets to fight with their brand respective titles at SummerSlam. It's the minute he uttered those words, I was thinking if Orton gets there, he's winning the whole damn thing. And on top of that, there's a little foreshadowing. Did you see earlier tonight Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton having a little shake of the hands? Good luck out there tonight. You don't think WWE is not thinking money? What's the biggest matchup that we could do?
Orton versus Rhodes.
You know everybody's thinking Viper versus Nightmare. Think about it. The story lays out for itself. Cody Rhodes rising to the occasion, winning finishing the story. Everything that he has done to become the WWE champion. But now you got a Randy Orton, a Viper, who has come back after basically a career-ending injury. And now has the eye of that look, that cynical look of Randy Orton that you don't know if you can trust him or not. He could turn on Cody for the eye of becoming once again the WWE champion. You can build a 2-month storyline from now until SummerSlam. You could build this to a T where you could have Cody and Orton working together, being united. Cody, with as the WWE champion, Orton as the king. Orton could flip on Cody with that one RKO. Orton goes into his heel, and you know when he gets into heel Orton, he's one of the best heel guys in the game. There's no doubt about it. I'm sorry. Gunther can win Money in the Bank and get the opportunity at the title because you know they're going to want to give him the shot at Clash at the Castle or have him go in as champion, go into Berlin because that is more prevalent for Gunther. He doesn't need to win King of the Ring. He doesn't need it. Where Randy Orton doesn't necessarily need it either, but because of what Triple H said, he opened the door for Orton to win this. I was thinking, holy freaking crap, Hunter, you just dropped us a nuke. Just like I think Lara Valkyria is going to win it because like Anthony said, what's the better matchup? Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title as the main event of SummerSlam is without a doubt the perfect match to book. WWE Creative, you think you were slick with this one. You weren't. The minute Triple H said those words, I was like, holy crap. I started feeling it. And I was thinking, this is going to happen. So, nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, I got the Viper winning and going to SummerSlam as the champion.
Oh, absolutely. I will be honest with you, MF. I had a full argument prepared for Gunther to win because of the fact that, you know, they had him lose the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania to Sammy, and they wanted to give him the big win back. But I can't argue against you. I'm not even going to try. I was ready to, but then you made all those great points. When Triple H said winner gets the brand title shot at SummerSlam, the far more entertaining option would indeed be Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, teacher versus student, you know, with the legacy tie-in. And let's also not forget about one other thing, gentlemen. Correct me if I'm wrong, MF, because considering you are the biggest Randy Orton mark out of all of us.
And you and I talked about this, Florio.
Yes, we did, Bullet. We talked about it during our SmackDown chat earlier. Correct me if I'm wrong, MF, but I believe Randy Orton has won every single thing there is to win in WWE except for one thing.
Yeah, well, what's the one thing that he's never won?
Yeah, King of the Ring. Because King of the Ring was never in play. King of the Ring was never in play until now.
That's the only thing that he needs to add to his Hall of Fame resume.
Think about it. WWE champion, check. World heavyweight champion, check. Intercontinental champion, check. United States champion, check. Tag team champion, check. Royal Rumble winner, twice, check. Mr. Money in the Bank.
Mr. Money in the Bank, sole survivor at Survivor Series. 3 times.
Yes, and of course his history in traditional Survivor Series elimination matchups, absolutely. That's well documented also. But the one thing that he has never done is win the King of the Ring. He does that, next stop Hall of Fame. So there is no question about that. He will that will give him the keys to the Hall of Fame. No doubt about it. But then again, he's going to have him win or lose. He's going to have it. So like I said, there's still that part of me that thinks Gunther, but now after all this, it's got to be Orton now. Orton versus Rhodes in the main event of SummerSlam. Sign us up. And MF, you and I are going to have a lot of fun with this one, man. Let me tell you. You and Randy Orton, me and Cody. You know I'm rolling with Cody Rhodes. I've been rolling with him, for the last 2 years. The whole finish the story thing, and oh man, what a story that would be indeed. So, what a way to main event the biggest party of the summer in the Dog Pound in Cleveland. So, oh man, 60-something thousand fans. Oof, my word. So, I'm gonna go with MF. I'm gonna go with Randy Orton to win the King of the Ring, but. And I do say but, gentlemen, do not at all be surprised if Gunther somehow wins. Don't.
I just don't see how, the question I would have is, if they give it to Gunther, who's the champion going into that fight? Because that's the big question. Because
that's very true.
Don't forget another thing.
CM Punk
coming back.
And McIntyre.
And McIntyre, they want to do McIntyre and Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship at Clash at the Castle.
And Drew's going to win the title. Though.
And Drew's going to win it. And then that's where you do Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. That's the money match for SummerSlam. And I think that's where CM Punk gets his payback and he wins the World Heavyweight Championship. The moment he should have had at WrestleMania.
So
it's that's
well, yeah. The story plays itself. I mean, it would be absolutely criminal. Now, like I said, I would prefer, and this is just me personally, I would prefer Gunther winning Money in the Bank, because at least there you give him an opportunity. Let him, because what I would say is you do this. Obviously, you let Drew take the belt at Clash at the Castle. Drew drops the belt to CM Punk. Punk gets backed into the corner. That either you have Punk gets cashed in at SummerSlam, or you wait for Gunther to cash in Germany for the title. Because at that point, you give Gunther the opportunity, because he's from Austria, not far from Germany, and that's where you let Gunther take the belt. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like Gunther should win Money in the Bank. He doesn't need to win the King of the Ring here.
Great argument. So, now that all has come together, let's give Orton the big moment here. Give him the one thing he's never done. You do that, he can say, "Hey, I'm the only man who can say I have won everything there is to win in WWE."
Yeah.
And like I said, next stop, Hall of Fame. So
next stop, Hall of Fame, and it'll be my moment to bend the knee and bow to the king. And I will gladly bow to this king of WWE.
And I wouldn't be surprised if I hear a Pat McAfee like "Let's go" if this happens. So.
Oh man.
I know, because I swear I hear them. I do hear them, and I swear I heard one a little while ago. So I'm just saying. So Randy Orton wins King of the Ring. Bullock, no way around it.
Oh yeah, there is no way around it. Plain and simple. Randy Orton is your new King of the Ring. So yeah, everything we just said, I think it just screams for Randy Orton to be King of the Ring. So nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
All right. And the main event, it is going to be the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes going one-on-one with Logan Paul for the WWE Championship. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
This is the easiest to call. There's no debate about this. The outcome of this match is no doubt whatsoever, particularly once Logan Paul refused to stake his United States Heavyweight Championship. Cody Rhodes is in a holding pattern as a heroic babyface champion. Logan Paul is the second in a revolving door of challenges for the undisputed champion. It should be a fun match, but there's no risk of Cody losing the title until he gets embroiled in a feud built on more than title shots. So easy as pie here. Winner and still the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Bullock, far and away the easiest match to call on this card.
Oh yeah, this is easy. Cody Rhodes retains the title. I mean, the moment where they said Logan Paul's title was not going to be on the line, the writing was definitely on the wall. So Cody wins. It's your Sledge.
Yeah, I agree. Cody Rhodes wins it. Really nothing more to add there. So, gentlemen, one more bit of business we need to do. The Ranger Roundup. Well, I guess we're going to get to do it here tonight. So, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final, the New York Rangers versus the Florida Panthers. And this is how it started. It started early, first period. The Rangers get on the board as it was Vincent Trocheck getting the goal, assisted by Adam Fox and Anteri Panarin. In 4:12, the Rangers got up 1-0. Then, before the end of the period, a power play for Florida, and they made the Rangers pay. Connor Verhaeghe getting the goal, Sam Bennett and Alex Lindell with the assist, and that tied the game at 1. There was no more goals after the remaining 40 minutes. There were no goals scored, so we went into overtime. And at 14:01 in overtime, Barclay Goodrow with the game winner, the GWG game-winning goal. Vincent Trocheck and Jacob Trouba on the assist at 14:01 in overtime number 1. It was good night, game over, drive home safely. Rangers win 2-1 in overtime. An unbelievable game. Shots on goal, New York was 30-27. Rangers won the face-off battle 36-33. Power play, New York's got to get their power play going, man. They're in a little bit of a funk. 0 for 4 tonight. Florida was 1 for 2. The Rangers out-hit Florida 51-42. Block shots were also advantage New York 25-23. 3 stars of the game. The number 3 star was Sergei Bobrovsky, who absolutely had an excellent game. He had 25 saves in the game. Number 2 star, Igor Shestankin, who had 29 out of 30. And the number 1 star, the game winner by Barclay Goodrow, getting the game winner. There was a little bit it wasn't controversial, but there was a challenge by Florida. They were like, I think it was a high stick. They thought that, the Rangers had played with a high stick, and that led to the game-winning goal. Referees, they didn't even go to Toronto. They talked about it. They looked at it. They looked at it briefly from Toronto to say, hey, we just gotta, we just want to make sure everything was fine. Toronto's like, everything's good. No, there's no complaint, no nothing. Good goal, game over. Go home, boys. We're going to Florida. So that was the game winner. And you know what? I'll say it. Matt Rempe was in the game tonight. They took out Capo Caco, and you noticed it. The aggressiveness by the New York Rangers. This was, without a doubt, where they fell on the banana peel and looked off. They didn't look like the aggressive team. Tonight, they were the bullies. They got aggressive. They went after Florida. They pushed the tempo. They punched them in the mouth in the first period. Then Florida punched them right back. But you noticed there was a different mindset. There was a different focus. There was a different attack by the New York Rangers. This is the way you got to handle the series from here on in. This is the way. This is the blueprint, boys. Florida has an intensity. They beat you in waves. And like we said, they had one line. Then the second line came in, they were attacking. The third line, they came in and attacked. The fourth line came in and attacked. Well, guess what? We had the Remp dog showing up, and he was barking and biting a whole bunch of pussycats out there tonight. And that's exactly the mentality. Trouba was getting hits. Vincent Trocheck laid some lumber. Now, Jimmy Vesey got lit and got hurt. That was bad. So we hope VC's okay. We hope he's all right. He got taken out. Hopefully he'll be good to go. We don't know. They're saying it might be a shoulder injury. We don't know what happened to Jimmy VC. It's an upper body injury. He was out of the game. We don't know if he's gonna come back, if he'll be back for the next game. Hopefully he is. But if you saw what New York is playing and how they're attacking, this was the moment we needed. We needed a spark. We needed some fire. The minute Remby was buzzing around, he was hunting. He was attacking. He was after the Panthers. He was like, you are in my zone. You are in my radar. If I got you locked, I'm exploding on you. And that's exactly what we needed. And he was very careful. He wasn't rambunctious. He wasn't out of control. His hits were controlled. They were measured. And they were legal. That's the key. It was a controlled frenzy attack by Matt Rempe. He wasn't out of control. He wasn't headhunting like he did in the last couple of games. And that was exactly what you need to do. You want to push a bully around? You want to combat a bully? How you do that? By taking it right at them. You don't hide. You don't run. They were still trying to do that. Try to play the game of, oh, we got one guy in your zone. Try to get a from him. No, New York was passing it. They were going quicker. They were sharper. They were more better on all those attacks. So they were breaking the press of the Florida Panthers. Anthony Florio, you brought up a valid point during that game. You're like, the passing was more crisp by the New York Rangers. It was like they knew what they were doing. They studied the film and they executed brilliantly here tonight. And you brought that up during the telecast during our game tonight. And that's exactly what it was. They absolutely took this game and now took the series back. And now we have a series. New York is back in it. Everybody was thinking, if they go down 0-2, that's bad news. Now it's 1-1. We're going to Florida. And now New York has put themselves in a very good position where now Florida has to come back. They got to answer the bell. And New York, they are really good on the road. So they're not worried. They're not scared. There is no quit with this team. And now if they keep that intensity up, we can see that these guys are human. They do make mistakes because Sergei Bobrovsky, he could let a couple in here tonight. This is the moment where maybe this could be the turning point in the series. New York got slapped in the mouth. They got punched, and they did it, and they wilted in game one. They came fighting back, and they took it to Florida, and hello, we won. So now we got to see what's the response in game three, because now you're going to their house. You know that place is going to be loud. But if you're New York, you got to put the pressure on. You got to think about it this way. You got to win the next game. This is the moment where you got to turn. This is where you got to kick it to that next level. Everybody's still saying Florida's going to win the series. You take one. Hell, if you take the next two from Florida and bring it back 3-1 to New York, we might be thinking Stanley Cup final at that point. The final would be in our reach. Then all we got to do is just slay it. But I love the strategy. Peter Laviolette coached a brilliant game. He changed the lines up. He brought Philip Hedl into that first line, and it worked. Then you had Alexis Lafreniere in line 2. Rempe was in line 4 with Barclay Goodrow. Look what happened. So the strategies are always going to change. You got to be in-game adjustments. We got one of the best in the game with Peter Laviolette. I mean, this man has brought us to the state. He brought Carolina to a Stanley Cup. So he knows how to get there. So in Peter we trust. He brought us back. he changed some things up, and look how he gets rewarded tonight with a big Game 2 win. A must-win, Anthony Florio said. Anthony Florio, you said we needed this game. By God, we got it. Rangers win 2-1 in OT.
Thank goodness. That's all I'm going to say on that. Thanks be to God for this one. No question about that. MF, when every time we've done these reviews, I've always said that the best player on the ice almost every time was Vincent Trocheck. He's in that list, yes, but he was not the best player on the ice for the New York Rangers tonight. He was one of the best, but not the best. Who was the best? You said it. Matt Rempe. Rempe was the star tonight. 9 hits. Oh, by the way, he had 9 hits, and he also had a faceoff win. Then it's Trocheck, who had a goal and an assist. He also had 7 faceoff wins and also added 6 hits. Mika Zibanejad, 15 faceoff wins, a hit and a takeaway. The hero of the night, Barclay Goodrow, 10 faceoff wins. The game-winning goal, also had 5 hits on the night. Chris Kreider had 5 hits on the night. Panarin, with an assist, had a couple of hits. And Wenberg with 3 faceoff wins. And then Trouba, the captain, with 4 hits, also had an assist. Adam Fox with 3 hits. Ryan Lindgren, 3 hits. And Igor should actually, MF, the count is at 26 saves on 27 shots, unless the stats need to be updated. But nonetheless, Igor had to stand on his head. He literally did that tonight. Of course, I had to acknowledge the Florida Panthers. Sergei Bobrovsky, another outstanding performance from him. No doubt about it. Barkov, I thought was the best player on the ice for the Florida Panthers tonight. 11 faceoff wins, had 3 hits. Bennett with 4 hits and a takeaway. Lomberg with 4 hits. Lundell with an assist. 8 faceoff wins. And on top of that, Luosterainen with 5 hits. With 5 faceoff wins and 2 hits. Reinhart with 4 faceoff wins. Had a hit and a takeaway. Stenlund with 3 faceoff wins and a couple of hits. Tarasenko with 3 hits. And Verhaeghe with another goal. Ekblad with 4 hits on the night. Ekman Larson 3 hits. Forsling 3 hits. Mikola with 3 hits. And it was a smash mouth physical, be a man type game. And like MF said, Rempe was the ultimate difference maker. And that's why I felt he was the best player on the ice for the New York Rangers, leading the team with the 9 hits. And we need to keep him in that lineup. There's no doubt about it. Keep him in the lineup. He's a good luck charm. There's no doubt about it. And huge win for the New York Rangers. I said it the other night, must-win game. Boy, howdy, they did it. And we did not want to. The last thing we needed was for us to go back to Florida down 2-0. But thankfully, it's a split. And now we let the chips fall where they may. Special Sunday afternoon matinee on Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC as the series shifts to Sunrise, Florida. And the series started as a best of 7. Now the series is now a best of 5. So big win for the Rangers. I'm happy. I'm relieved. And hopefully we can keep that momentum going as we head to Florida now. So not going to be easy, but we still believe. There's no doubt about that. So I said it the other night that they were going to come to play, and they came to play tonight. So big win for the New York Rangers. So not much more to say on that. Michael Bullock, if you want to give a quick thought, feel free. I mean, the New York Rangers, what can you say? They won the game that they had to win here tonight.
Yeah, they really needed this victory because, like you said, the last thing they wanted to do was go to Florida down 2-0, and they got the job done. Now they got to try to get one in Florida, and if they can play like the President's Trophy team that they are, I think you guys should be fine, but we'll see what Sunday brings. So nothing more to say. Fletch, let's put a bow on this night.
So that's part one of the 2-part Cerebral Smack Talk. Tomorrow we will do a recap of the King and Queen of the Ring. We will preview AEW's Double or Nothing, and then we will have a Celtic chat. We will be covering or recapping Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. So with that said, thank you, Anthony Florio. Thank you, Michael Bullock. Thank you guys, as always. Like the video, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms. Be a friend, tell a friend, say something nice. You might actually change their life. Until then, I am Michael Fletcher. So long, everybody, and we'll see you all tomorrow night.
Goodbye.